What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the La Liga Career Mode. It's episode number 30, returning today with a brand new season, our fifth and final one at the Mestalla after 4 trophyless years with Valencia. This season aiming to complete the grand sweep and win the treble, and our starting budget for our fifth and final season is going to be... Well, I mean, if we can't win a trophy with the team we've got and that kind of money, then put it this way, all the failure is on my shoulders. 172 million. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. If we can't win a trophy this season, then it's an absolutely epic failure of grand proportions. This is a 5-star Valencia team. It's an incredible lineup with world-class talent such as Chevalier and Samu, and we really should have won something last year. We should have won the Copa del Rey. We really should have done. I bottled that semi-final. Champions League last 16 knockout to Dortmund on pens. That was disappointing, but again, had I been better defensively, certainly would have got through that tie. And as for La Liga, epic end of season run, winning 9 straight. Unfortunately, it was the hole we put ourselves in midway through the season as to why we weren't able to win the crown come the end of the season. But it's an incredible team. Again, our loan players have come back. Romero's come back from Galatasaray, 79 overall. I'll probably loan him out again, although I guess there's no point now since our final season. But of course, coming back from Burnley, I said it and I'll say it again. This is why you've got to loan those youth players out, guys. Kelvin Chan with a plus 14. Let me say that again. Plus 14 increase in his overall rating, and remarkable stat attribute increases after 1 year at Turf Moor as well. Loan those youth players out, guys. Believe me, it's the best way to get quicker growth. But as for new signings this year, well, I said it last year, our biggest problem wasn't going forward. Once again, scored all the goals. Samu, top scorer of the league. It's defensively. We've got to improve the defense, and that's where most, if not all, of our 170 mil will be getting spent. As for the new contracts, well, again, I guess it kind of feels a bit pointless now, but I would extend a couple of contracts anyway. Yarek's going to get a new deal, and Juro will get a new deal. But as for the others, including Bernabé and Almeida as well, I'll probably just leave those. And for the youngsters under the age of 23, there's no point in extending the contracts anyway. But for Yarek and Juro, I'll extend those contracts first. My board objectives for this season, by the way, with my manager rating right now critical, is to win the domestic double and reach that Champions League final. Without a shadow of a doubt, that is the minimum requirement all across the board. I want the treble. And as for what defenders we will be signing, well, I said we're going to need a new CB for this year, I would say, and there's several world-class names on the shortlist. Unfortunately, I've lost a scout report on loads of them, even though so many are highly enough rated to be unmasked fully. I don't like that change from EA. I understand why they've done it, but in my opinion, when a player reaches a certain level, you know how good he is. You don't need to scout him to find out whether he's good enough or not. But what I do want has got the full scout report, and that's who I'll be bringing in. Moving on from Athletic Bilbao in this save to RB Leipzig. I'm going to say to Daniel Vivian with that 90 strength, 87 jumping, 90 interceptions, and 92 aggression. You are exactly the sort of centre-half I want in my team, with great passing stats, but brilliant defensive stats as well. Let's bring him back to Spain. Daniel Vivian, it's time to return. He has a release clause of 71 mil, which in this market, I would actually say is fair enough to pay on its own for an 86 rated player in the prime of his career. So with that being the case, I don't think we'll have to spend much more than market valuation. We'll go with 2.5 mil over market valuation to begin with. And despite having all that money, I still want to bring in another world-class player as well. But you're not getting Mario. He's staying with me. Alright, so combining what Mario's worth plus that 32 mil, theoretically Leipzig are going to be looking for around 60 mil, I'd say. So let's go 57.5 mil. And see what the German side say to that. Again, the release clause is 71 mil, so we don't have to spend more than that. And 57.5 mil for a player in the prime of his career right now, and world class, what a steal. Daniel Vivian is one of the many, and I mean many players that have came through Bilbao's famous setup to establish themselves as one of the best players in their position in European football. He's won a few caps for Spain, and right now he's trying to lead them to a Europa League win and also a top 4 Champions League place in La Liga as well. Having a fantastic season right now in the Basque region, but in the save, moving on to RB Leipzig. I've had my eyes on him since season 1, and I'm glad that now in our 5th year, I've finally managed to get him as hopefully the answer to my defensive woes. So welcome to the Mestalla on a 4-year, 90 grand a week deal. Daniel Vivian. I'm a massive fan of this guy. He's been absolutely phenomenal. And again, one of the big reasons why Bilbao are going for a Champions League place and, of course, a Europa League win as well. When we look at his stats here, this is why I needed him. 90 strength, 87 jumping, 90 interceptions with 92 aggressions, and 85 reactions, and nothing to be sniffed at either. With good passing stats too, crucial for the way we pass out from the back. This is one of two solutions I'm looking for in my back five, and I've got my main guy in straight away. Buzzing with this signing. And as I've just sold Pedroza to Wolves, our backup left back going to Molineux for £13.5 million. I did say I'll be looking for a successor for Jose Gaya, as he'll be taking a bench role now at 33 years old. And we've had our eyes on him as the successor since season 1. Haven't been able to get him until now. He is the ideal successor for Jose Gaya. It is the Manchester United Academy graduate. He spent a brief loan period at Deepdale with Preston North End, has since moved on to Benfica, developed his game into becoming a world-class left-back, and at 25 years old, he's still getting better. There is no one in world football that is a better successor for Gaya than this man, Alvaro Carreras. Let's bring him in. We possibly could have got Carreras last year, or maybe even the season before, but only if we agreed to meet the release clause of over £90 million. I felt confident at some point Benfica would be willing to listen to offers so I could get him cheaper. That's exactly the case this summer window. So for £50 million, that's a bargain in modern day football for a world-class left-back in the prime of his year, coming in on a 5-year, 46 grand a week deal. Another bargain, really, when you think about it. Welcome to the Messiah, Alvaro Carreras. Yeah, you know when you got your eyes on a target and you just think at some point you're going to be mine. I will get you. I will get you at some point. Maybe not this season, maybe not next season, but at some point I will get you. That was the case with Alvaro Carreras. I didn't want anyone else to fill the shoes of the captain other than this man right here. Yet leaving the Manchester United Academy, going to Benfica, he's developed his game brilliantly at the Estadio de Luz. And again, is there a better successor for Jose Gaya, now 33 and starting to decline? Honestly, I don't think so. And the fact he's Spanish as well is just the added bonus too. So Alvaro Carreras in, and we still got some money to make a new signing as well. Yeah, it's an odd one because we've got plenty of money remaining, and I thought I'd have to spend a bit more on Carreras and Vivian, as Villa put in a monstrous offer for Chevalier, but of course they're going to turn down the Golden Glove win. And I quite like Ariso as a backup right back. Not against selling him and bringing in someone better to compete with Correa, but I quite like Ariso. I mean, I could bring in Andres Garcia, who's a rating higher and a few years younger, and the same with Fresneda right now at Porto, 6 years younger, but also a rating higher. But the thing is, I've used Fresneda before, and I haven't used Garcia before, but you know, he's probably not going to want to be a backup right back now at 25. And I like Ariso. He never complains about a lack of game time, and there's no need to sell him. And this is the thing, like I say to people all the time, like the overall rating, yes, it's important. Don't get me wrong, a great indicator as to how good a player is going to be, but it's not the most important thing. Ariso's been solid since we signed him as a backup right back. Never complains. I don't have to sell him, so I'm not going to. My personal opinion on career mode has always been, you play the game however you want to play it, and don't let anyone else tell you whether you're playing the right way, so to speak, or the wrong way. It's your game. You play it however you want to play it. And if you want to build the absolute best team, if you're just a pure strategist, you want the best team, the best squad, the highest potential, the highest overall rating, go for it. Go for it. But for me, it's not all about strategy. You know, it's not all about doing things to the best they could possibly be. To me, it's all about enjoyment for the most part, and then you blend in a bit of realism as well. And some of my saves are primarily focused on realism too. So yeah, I like Ariso. I know I could bring in a better right back as a replacement. I know I could bring in someone better as a backup for Correa, but to me, I like Ariso. You know, he doesn't do anything wrong, doesn't complain, so I'm going to keep him. Anyway, Kelvin's gone out on loan to Mallorca. Again, it feels kind of pointless, but we'll develop his game a little bit and maybe bring him back in January if we need some more squad depth. Right, let's kickstart the season off playing our first 2 or 3 games in La Liga. Asked to win it this season after not winning it the first 4 years of the save. These guys won it the first 2 years, and a tough opening day away from home in Madrid. Atletico at the Metropolitano again. This season, we got to defend better. That is the full focus after we set the tone towards the end of last season. We're going to play locked in defense and let's start with a clean sheet and 3 points on match day 1. Vamos Valencia. So we all know the final score of today's opening day. Atletico Madrid 4, Valencia 2. It's the only way we win silverware, you know. Last season, why did we not win any trophies? Well, the answer was obvious as Julian Alvarez slides through. Kelme. Oh, Chevalier is just absolutely bailed me out. That's the reason why. Too many clear-cut chances conceded, and yeah, our number one can bail us out on occasion, but not every time. Incredible save there. Oh, as it remains 0-0. This is not the start of the season we wanted. I mean, it's just hard at the end of the day to play good defense against the AI on Ultimate, because they will find an opening. They will find an opening in your back line, whether you play 3, 4, or 5. Come on, you can't mess this up, can you? No, we're not going to. Somebody to make it 1, easy money. They will find an opening. You know, patiently probing, waiting for a gap in your back line. Again, 3, 4, or 5 man, doesn't matter. Whether your midfielder's helping out, doesn't matter. Ultimately, they are patient enough and accurate enough and also quick enough to do it in a split second to find an opening. And once they do, it's either on your goalkeeper to bail you out or on one of your defenders to come across and make up the ground in a really, really, really slow amount of time remaining. Not slow amount of time, light amount of time remaining. You know, it's very hard to play good defense against the Aaron Ultimate. That's just how it is. As Heater does well there, Samu's given us the lead. If we do play good defense, we will hold on to the win on match day 1. I couldn't think of the word I was trying to use there. Light amount of time. Doesn't sound right to me. Low amount of time is what I should have said. But right now, yeah, Chan with him. Little deflection, it carries straight through. Oh, brilliant ball. Work through, and there we go. Varela with a leveller with 12 to play, 12 seconds to play in the first half. That's what I mean. Even sometimes the tackles, the deflect back to the AI, it's just, I just have to give myself some defence. Pardon the pun. It is hard to defend on this level. Like, you just have to accept that, you know, they will find openings during the game. And then again, it's on your number one to bail you out, which, like I said, Chevalier can do on occasion, but not every time. Not every time. And it's why so many of our games are so high scoring. Oh, go on, Silva. And while we're still trophyless in the save. Come on. But no matter whether that's the case or not, the difficulty being incredibly hard, we have to be better. You know, it's as simple as that. And to be fair, I think it is a bit different to, well, for the past couple of years in particular. I do feel like since the end of last season, I have started to tighten up. And even in this game, could have conceded a couple more chances. Instead, I'm being a bit stronger. A bit stronger. But again, it's just so difficult. So difficult. Good save. Well, it's not exactly the start we wanted to the season, but the most important thing is a win. Defensively breached a couple of times, did concede as well, but whilst I think we are going to get tighter over the course of the season as well, the most important thing is the result. A win on match day 1 and a big one too against Atletico. Tottenham Hotspur officials confirmed talks ongoing with Carreras. I understand there is no agreement yet with Carreras, but Tottenham Hotspur still pushing. Lads, he signed for us, do you not remember? I saw they were interested when he was at Benfica, but he chose us, mate. It's over. You lost out. You weren't quick enough. Right, following game, let's move into this. Might be our second and final one, or might squeeze in one afterwards, but another tough game for our second of the season. First one at the start, East Coast derby, Villarreal coming to take us on. Vamos Valencia. I listened to a great podcast with Jolie and Lescott. I can't remember who was hosting, but Jolie and Lescott was the guest. And Lescott, one of the more sort of like forgotten men, if you will, in England's defence over the past decade or so. Oh, what a save. But he was saying how, you know, ultimately you train mentality like you train any other kind of like stat, if you will. Like, for example, if you want a player to become stronger or you want a player to become quicker, you know, say they ran the 100 metres in 20 seconds on day 1, you don't expect them to run 100 metres in 10 seconds on day 2. It takes time, you know, it takes time. And he made a good point about that. I never really considered that before, but it's true. If you've got a player who's, let's just say, you know, for layman's terms, lazy, they don't become industrious in one day. It takes time to build that kind of mentality and work ethic, you know. So it should be seen the same as when you got a player who, again, is improving physically as they are mentally too. Same with the team as well. We don't become a great defensive team in the span of, you know, one fortnight. It's going to take time for us to carve out that identity. Chevalier is going to bowl it out to Correa. And after already bailing me out inside the first 10 minutes, not the start we want here. It's still 0 for now. And now we're going to lead as Samu comes through to smacking it off the post. Just waiting for that opening, found it, and it fell to the right man. Tierno Barry coming forward, offloading. Frankie de Jong rolls it through. Mascara does really well. But then, you can't, come on, you can't make those sort of mistakes, man. But that's the thing, around your own area, you're going to get punished for it. Honestly, it's so hard to defend on this level. Well, don't get me wrong, it's better. But oh, timed brilliantly. Yes, it's not exactly the level I want it to be. At least not yet. But I've got to follow my own advice. But Jolie and Lescott's advice as well. Transitions take time, man. We're not going to become a weak defensive team to an elite defensive team in the space of a fortnight or even just a few months. That's going to take some time, and we are getting better. You know, last season in games like this, we might have conceded 3 or 4, but big goal by Silva has probably won it, and it will be back-to-back 2-1 wins for Valencia. Right, let's squeeze in one more game, our third and final one, hopefully getting our first clean sheet of the season. Most importantly, 3 wins on the trot to begin the campaign off. SDI, by the way, one of the great Spanish teams for an RTG career mode. One of the big reasons why they're a real stadium. Smallest real stadium in FC 25. Let's get a big win here, though. Vamos, Valencia. Yeah, brilliant team for an RTG, with the fact they've never won a major honour. Again, smallest real stadium in the game as well, and being part of the Basque region means that if you want, you can kind of do your own version of Bilbao's policy. Sociedad obviously implement a similar policy as well. They're not quite as strict, but yeah, great team to use for an RTG in Spain. One of many, of course. As Pepe Lu finds Samu. Oh, wonderfully done. And it will be the perfect start for Valencia. 8 minutes in, Samu with the opener. And, well, off to a lead early. But hopefully this time, for the third game, we can get ourselves a clean sheet and hold on to it too. So second half underway. I'll be honest, it's been quite a timid, poor game so far. But I don't really mind, because as things stand, it is going to be our first clean sheet of the season, and you want to get it as quick as possible, man. You know, I often talk about it, when a season starts, you want to get your first win on the board as quick as you can, but also, if you've laid down an intention for the new year, you want to be a free scoring team or a strong defensive side, whatever it is, you want to prove that early doors. No clean sheets in our first 3 is not the kind of message you want to send after broadcasting that you're going to be one of the better defensive teams this year. Thankfully, though, in this game, I haven't really had much of a problem on the defensive end, and on the offensive end, oh, it should have been 2. Silva slipped through, great keeping, still 1 for now. God, I love this stadium, it's so cool. Look at this, man, look at this. The thing about the stadium in real life as well is that you can see the mountains in the background, and I guess you would here as well. Obviously, it's become a bit dusk-like here in Spain now, with the dynamic weather, which, by the way, is a great new feature from EA. I've given them credit for a few things this year. That's one of the things I really like. But it's such a cool stadium, man. I really like it. And no doubt about it, a future RTG team of mine, I'm sure. But in this game here, we've wrapped up the win against them, recycling possession. And that's the thing with that corner there. You might have thought, well, chance to put it in the box. It's come to nothing. But actually, there's more of a chance of scoring now, the EA have nerfed headers, by playing the ball all the way out and then recycling it back in. You are not going to score from floating the ball in from a corner anymore, practically ever. So genuinely, even if you're going all the way back about 30-35 yards out, you've got more of a chance. You just wait for the opening, find one, and then take the chance. Hugo does off the bench, 2-0. Third win on the trot for Valencia. And that'll do it for today's episode of the La Liga career mode as well, guys. So big thank you for watching the season opener. If you've enjoyed it, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. I'll return in the next one with deadline day, where we still might make a signing of over 60 million in the budget. The Champions League league phase draw, plus the first game, or possibly 2, and more games in La Liga, aim to build on our 100% start. Have a great day. Much love, and I'll see you for the next episode. very soon.